India has once again stepped into the global spotlight with a controversial regulatory decision that merges national security concerns with digital governance. In a confidential order dated November 28th, the country's telecoms ministry instructed major smartphone manufacturers to preload all newly produced devices with the state-owned cybersecurity app, Sanchar Saathi, and crucially, to make the app undeletable. The directive, which has not been made public and was sent privately to companies like Apple, Samsung, Xiaomi, Vivo, and Oppo, arrives at a moment when India is grappling with a sharp surge in cyber fraud, impersonation scams, and phone-related crime. By mandating a system-level app, the government argues it is strengthening a digital defense mechanism for more than 1 billion subscribers. But the move is far from universally accepted. Critics see this not just as a technical requirement, but as a major shift in digital privacy norms, one that mirrors similar actions taken in Russia and other states where pre-installed government apps have triggered debates about surveillance, autonomy, and the expanding reach of the state into personal devices. The heart of the government's justification lies in a worrying trend: the rise in stolen phones, IMEI spoofing, and network misuse. India, home to the world's second-largest smartphone market, has seen millions of devices lost or stolen annually, many of which re-enter the black market with manipulated IMEI numbers. Sanchar Saathi, launched in January, is designed as a centralized platform to block, trace, or disable such devices, while also enabling users to identify fraudulent or duplicate mobile connections issued under their name. According to official data, the app has facilitated the recovery of more than 700,000 lost phones since launch, including 50,000 in a single month. In addition, government records claim the system has helped block more than 3.7 million stolen or missing handsets and terminated over 30 million fraudulent SIM connections. These figures, regularly cited by the telecom ministry, support the argument that the app is a necessary line of defense in a landscape where digital crime is becoming increasingly sophisticated. Officials frame the requirement as a national cyber safety measure, emphasizing that cloned IMEIs, spoofed devices, and unregistered connections pose a serious endangerment to telecom networks and the public at large. But despite the security rationale, the order instantly puts smartphone manufacturers, especially Apple, in an uncomfortable position. Apple has long followed strict internal rules, forbidding the pre-installation of any third-party or government app on its devices before sale. These policies are central to its brand identity, one built on hardware-software integrity and privacy. Apple has historically resisted such requests around the world, including in India, where it previously clashed with regulators over a mandatory anti-spam app in 2017. Analysts believe the current directive will likely trigger another round of negotiations. Tarun Pathak, a research director at Counterpoint, notes that Apple will seek a middle ground, potentially arguing for voluntary installation prompts rather than a mandatory system app. Apple's position is strengthened by its global reputation for resisting government pressure. However, its market share in India, an estimated 4.5% of the country's 735 million smartphones, limits the leverage it might have in dictating policy outcomes. Android manufacturers, meanwhile, may find compliance easier given the more flexible nature of their operating systems, though they too face concerns over user backlash and international scrutiny. As of now, none of the major companies have issued public responses, reflecting the sensitivity of a policy that blends national security, geopolitics, and commercial negotiations behind closed doors. Privacy experts have reacted sharply to the move, warning that India risks joining a growing list of states where the requirement of pre-installed government apps has raised alarms about digital overreach. Mishi Choudhury, a leading technology lawyer, argues that the directive effectively removes user consent as a meaningful choice, highlighting a core tension. the difference between empowering users to protect themselves versus mandating compliance through non-removable state software. Critics draw parallels with Russia's recent decision requiring smartphone manufacturers to pre-install the government-backed messenger app Max, a policy that stoked international concern over digital surveillance. While India's intentions are framed around cyber fraud prevention rather than political monitoring, privacy advocates argue that undeletable apps, especially those tied to central databases, can expand state visibility into personal device usage if safeguards are not airtight. The absence of a public debate before issuing the order adds to apprehensions. In a country where digital rights frameworks are still evolving, the push for compulsory installation is seen by some as an overextension that prioritizes state control over user autonomy and transparency. The ministry has not yet clarified what data Sanchar Saathi can access, who controls it, or how citizens can challenge misuse, a gap that fuels skepticism in an already polarized privacy debate. Still, for the government, the app represents a practical solution to real vulnerabilities in a massive digital ecosystem. India's telecom networks handle billions of communications every day, and the black market for stolen phones, often linked to organized criminal networks, has grown rapidly with the expansion of cheaper Android devices. The fact that more than 5 million users have voluntarily downloaded Sanchar Saathi indicates that many citizens see value in it. Police forces across states have praised the platform for enabling faster coordination, allowing officers to trace stolen devices across multiple telecom operators in real time. The ability to instantly block a stolen phone's IMEI number has reduced the incentive for thieves to resell devices domestically. Moreover, the crackdown on fraudulent SIM cards, many of which were previously used in financial scams, has been widely recognized as a success. The government argues that making the app mandatory would simply streamline a system that is already effective, ensuring universal protection and preventing telecom vulnerabilities from being exploited by criminals. For policymakers, this is not a matter of choice, but a national imperative as India undergoes rapid digitalization. In their view, leaving installation optional creates gaps that bad actors can easily exploit. As the debate unfolds, India finds itself navigating a delicate balance between technological sovereignty, commercial considerations, and the fundamental rights of its citizens. The directive reflects a broader global trend in which governments increasingly assert control over digital infrastructure in the name of security, sometimes at the expense of privacy norms. Whether this move strengthens India's cyber resilience or erodes user trust will depend on how transparently and responsibly the system is implemented. If clear data protection guarantees, independent oversight, and meaningful accountability mechanisms accompany the app, it could become a model for state-supported digital safety tools. But if the policy expands unchecked, if data access remains opaque, or if the app evolves into a tool of monitoring rather than protection, public backlash could intensify, dragging India into deeper debates about surveillance and digital rights. For now, smartphone manufacturers must navigate the 90-day compliance window, users await clarity, and the government stands firm on its claim that the stakes are too high to rely on voluntary measures. In a country of more than 1 billion mobile subscribers, even a single policy decision can reshape the digital ecosystem. The future of India's cyber governance and global perceptions of its trajectory may well hinge on what happens next with Sanchar Saathi.